We begin today's feature presentation with another car monologue brought to you by P&W Golf.
It's been a little while since I recorded. Kind of take another break with everything that's been going on. You guys know, between losing my job and the custody battle and just everything else, things have been kind of crazy, but the dust is finally starting to settle and there's tons of positive developments in my life right now. First and foremost, found a new job, which is awesome. Good company, good employees, awesome manager. Just taking a huge load off my shoulders, giving me the ability to finally just take a breath and know that money's on the way, because it has been tight. That being said, finally getting back into a groove practicing, I kind of realized I haven't spent as much time grinding this year because of the channel and just everything else. And that's probably why I'm taking steps backward, I made up all this ground because I worked harder than anybody I knew, and I can't say that that's been true since I started the channel because I'm just not balancing my time properly and I'm spending so much time editing. So I've just been dedicating a ton of time these last few days to just really falling in love with the process again, practicing hard, setting goals, and really just, getting back in touch with my swing and feeling really confident with all the different variables that are going on. So yeah, this episode's gonna be a little bit different. Instead of doing 18 holes like I normally do, showing you guys some gameplay, I'm gonna kind of give you a behind the scenes and show you, what my practice regimen is like, and just kind of give you an idea of what I'm doing when I'm not out on the course. So first things first, tomorrow I'm going down to Downriver, spend a few hours practicing. I'm gonna have you guys join me, kind of work on some short game and stuff like that, show you some of the new swing feels I have. And then Friday, I'm going out to the Swing Lounge to meet up with Alex and Rachel's friend, Ashley, who is a local yoga instructor that teaches yoga in a way that relates to golf, which is super cool to me. Yoga is always something that I've wanted to do because of my injuries, but if it's something that can make me a little bit better at golf or more in tune with my swing, I'll take anything I can get. So even if it's in small increments, I'm always willing to think outside the box. But we're gonna go do that Friday night. It should be a ton of fun. And then in a couple nights, we're gonna be meeting up at Indian Canyon with some of the guys to just kind of practice together and share some tips and tricks. And this is gonna be something we're doing regularly. We're gonna start getting these meetups going and hopefully growing the group to a big enough size where we can do some really fun stuff. But for the time being, we're gonna meet at Indian Canyon, do a little bit of short game practice, and then maybe some contests and stuff like that. But I'm trying to remind myself, what the process was like for me, remind myself, exactly why I love this game, and get some community going. Just got off work at the new job. I'm headed home right now. I got a few things to do tonight, some editing, and then tomorrow I will see you guys at Downriver. Good start there. Holy moly. I don't think I've ever done that before.
Oh, play long enough, you'll do it.
I don't think I've ever shanked the first shot before. my sweating already. It'll be a hot one. So me and Quinn talked, and he said, you know, just focus on keeping this palm down in the takeaway and up. Man, all my damn ADHD alarms. I don't know if you guys saw that, but I just hit the gong. Almost did it twice in a row. Let's see if we do it 3 times in a row. That was close. That was close. Feeling good. Feels good. I'm gonna get it again. Watch. Here we go. Time to switch clothes. I think that's good timing. One thing that I'm trying to do is to use my trail hand to control the club face. I was speaking to a friend who's a teaching pro out here, and he just kind of briefly, he just kind of said it, and it just clicked for me. But he said, well, if you think about it, your trail hand is pretty much always the same angle as the face. And that just, for me as a field player, that just really changed the way that I'm thinking about the mechanics of the golf swing. And so we're gonna try and groove a few new changes into the swing. Use a little foot spray. Kind of weird if you guys have never heard it, but you can actually use athlete's foot spray on your club face, and kind of works as like impact tape, let you know where you're striking the ball. So I have a feeling not finding the center, so we're gonna do a little bit of investigative work today, and then we'll hit the chipping green and work on some short game. Okay, switch up to a 7-iron here. We've been hitting for a little bit. Figure we turn the camera back on.
Oh, thank you. He's pretty good. Yeah.
Going good. I'm getting a lot more height too. Take a breather after that one. So you can see, covers it all. It's pretty cool. If I had to guess without looking, I'd say that's a little toey. Oh, actually not terrible. See if you can see this on camera here. If I can get it to focus there. So a little heely, which is surprising because it went away, it pushed away, and I guess I don't understand the dynamics of it, but. That was a little fat, but. Oh, that was, wow. That is really surprising. So that was so high on the face. You guys see that? Look at that. That was so high on the face. Let's try again. So what causes that? High on the face. Forward shaft lean? That's a factor I a variable I don't know. Whoa. I'm inconsistent. Like I've hit heel, toe, high, low. Wow, that's crazy. That felt good. Now it's still a little toey. High and toey. So now we know a major problem right now is, I don't know, would that be low point? I don't know. This is something I haven't troubleshot before, guys. This is gonna open up a can of worms, I'm sure. Okay, that was pretty money. And that was the worst struck ball of the whole bunch. This seems to be the most common spot. High and toey. Wow. 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 Now I can't hit my driver. It's so funny how this game works, because for the last however long, I haven't been able to get anything to work for me except for my driver. It's so weird how you can go from like excellence to just like, I don't even know what I'm doing with the driver anymore. So every time you improve one aspect of your game, it just always feels like it detracts from another. You guys didn't have any cold Red Bull? You're making me drink it out of a cup? Like some kind of savage? Working on some pitching now. This is where I prefer to practice. Like, I have the most fun from, 70 yards in, 100 yards in. That was close. All right, guys, time to kick it into gear. That would have been awesome if I just jarred the first one. Man, those are the worst. Before I hit it. Go. Oh, it's got to hit the pin. It's one way to stop your ball on the green, guys. All right, so we're gonna move to some chipping stuff now. For a lot of people, this might not be spectacular, but I'm always really happy with the grouping like that. Like, especially like how far I've come the last couple years. The wedges used to be the worst part of my game, so that ball just landed right here and rolled right there. Driving range. Dude, he is sending them over here right now. All right, well, we're gonna keep this running for insurance purposes. Anyways, driving range is like 280 yards back that way. Before I was so rudely interrupted and almost murdered, how funny would that have been if I was like, I'm sitting here trying to act like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you want to engage the bounce in the club, and then bam, ball just smokes me right in the cranium. Narrow stance, weight on your front foot, and then for me, I try to feel like I'm squishing this part of the club into the ground. Like I'm really kind of, like if you take it, you can feel the sponginess of the ground, right? The springiness. I try to feel like I'm sticking that bounce right underneath the ball. What that does is it allows my ball to slide underneath. It's gonna make more contact with the face. It's gonna give me more spin. And you can always take spin off, so yeah. So anyways, we'll see if we can do something here. See how that checked up? That was too much spin. But oh, it'd been so cool if I just jarred it after like sitting here telling you guys about chipping. There you go, guys. 3 attempts. That's all it took. So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Link below to sign up for your yearly subscription. It only costs you $7,000. For me, it's just, you know, trying to keep the motion as simple as possible. Like, I used to do a lot of stuff, you know, like opening my hands, and I still do when I'm trying to hit certain shots. Like, I'm glad that I started that way because now I have all these tools in my toolbox. But like, really, what's been killing me lately is I don't have a consistent go-to chip that I'm confident in. Now I've just got this go-to chip that I'm really happy with. Gets me good results, you know, it's dependable. Oh, too much spin. Really just gotta be careful not to spin it too much, which is a problem that most people would probably like to have, but okay, so there's 2. See if we can get a couple more here. Ah, too soft. That's what she said. There you go. The shot everybody likes to hit, the flop. You're gonna widen your stance a little bit. Open that bad boy all the way up. Middle of your stance. You'd think it would be the front of your stance, and that's how I did it for a long time, but it definitely comes out floppier in the middle, I don't know. And then the key for me is as I come back, I'm gonna cup my wrist. So I'm gonna cup it like that so that that club face, as it's going up, it's opening. I want it all the way open at the top. So yeah, so wider stance, middle, open the club face, and then you really want to let the club head get ahead of your hands. You kind of have to cast. So as the club head, I don't know what the best angle is for you guys, but it should be that motion, that flippy motion. The other thing, you want to try to have an out-to-in swing path, more of a cut path. It's going to create more spin for you. It's just going to work a little better. So, and then my swing thought is, like, we talked about the bounce, like engaging the bounce on the club. If you're really pushing that bounce into the ground, there's no way you're going to thin the ball unless you're on hard pan and it bounces up and hits it. There's no way you're going to thin it, and that's your biggest risk with a flop shot. Is by opening this club face, you're exposing the leading edge, and you go from having all this real estate to just like this little sliver, and that's typically what happens. Is that hits middle of the ball, you're not controlling your low point, blades it, and then you're always scared of a blade, so it makes you less confident, and that leads to the flop shot typically not working out. So for me, my swing thought is really just making sure at impact that I'm pushing that bounce into the ground. I'm really feeling that thud right underneath the ball. A little short, but you guys get the idea. Came down, stopped right where I wanted it. That's how to hit the flop shot. Let's see, it's 3 o'clock, got here at 11, maybe a little after 11, 4-hour practice session. So yeah, I mean, a typical like hard practice session for me, minus the putting. I didn't show you guys the putting or anything like that today. Keep in mind, I practiced yesterday really hard too. I think I put in 5 hours yesterday total, 2 hours at downriver, doing similar to what you guys saw today, and then another 3 hours at the swing lounge, playing a few rounds and getting some TrackMan data and everything. And yeah, I'm feeling really good about things now. I mean, I've said that before though. We'll see if it equates to good gameplay. So next time you guys see me, we'll be at Swing Lounge. We'll see what we can do to improve my flexibility, and it's going to be interesting to see how things correlate between golf and yoga and all that stuff. So should be fun. And then after that, I'm going to get a haircut, play around a golf.
Meow, 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 meow.
For those of you that don't know, Rachel Tibbetts is one of the co-owners of the Swing Lounge. You guys have heard me talk about her before, but she's one of the wonderful people that lets me practice here and do what I do to get better and stuff. So her friend Ashley has a yoga instruction business, Yoga Haven, and from what she told me, you started teaching climbers and different athletes, but you just are starting to branch into the world of golf. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so I started doing yoga in 2019, and just to calm my mind and allow me to be in my body, which I never was. And after about a while, I realized all my other sports were starting to improve, and so it wasn't golf season yet, and so it was in the winter time, so I noticed my skiing got improved, and then my climbing, I could put my foot way up there. And then when it got to golf season, I just noticed I was just more flexible. Like all of the problems that I had before doing yoga with my personal lessons, private lessons, they seem to go away with the exception of it's not as hard for me to do the swings. It's not as hard for me to move.
More fluid.
Yes, exactly. More mobility, flexibility, and then also strengthening. So it just seemed like they could put me into a little bit.
They went hand in hand.
Yeah, along with also with the breath. That's another thing. I could never stay still enough to do things. I never really thought about how that all connected either.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I thought about that on the drive out there about how yoga is it's a combination of a couple things. It's the flexibility and exercise, but it's also the mindfulness and the calmness and the relaxation. I don't meditate. I've tried for years and years. I have ADHD and my brain is still out, and so I had to find other ways to practice mindfulness. And so that's actually one of the reasons I got so into golf. Is where I'm able to kind of stupidly sounds kind of meditate, because I'm only thinking about the task at hand. All of the stress kind of melts away. So I don't know.
Think about mindfulness and golf is so important too.
We
all get that golf phase. We get nervous because we're golfing with someone new or whatever the case may be. And she teaches us how to.
All right, we ready?
Through breathing, how to really.
We love it. We love the gusto.
But teaching us how to calm our minds and be mindful and focus on and golf our swing.
I love it. I said in the intro on the episode, I'm willing to get better in any way I can, even if it's outside the box, even if it's in small increments.
Right.
I'll take any improvement that I can get. And then on top of it, even if I wasn't golfing, everybody's been telling me you need to do yoga.
And think about, when you're out there golfing, the last thing you want to do is have an injury. You can't golf anymore. So that yoga is a huge component for that. Alex wants to jump in too, by the way.
Yeah, so Alex is going to join us. You guys have seen him on the Diamonds in the Rough episode, but he's the other owner of the Swing Lounge. Just, I'm not going to talk about them because they're sitting right here, but they're awesome people. You guys have heard me talk about them before, so it's cool to have them on the channel and stuff with us. So let's get to it.
Okay.